Air signs, welcome to your reading for the month of October. So I'm putting them all together like triplicities, but there's going to be timestamps for your individual reading. So you can either look at all three, or you can just go directly to, the readings, your sign, the person that you're dealing with, the placement, that sort of thing. So I'm going to draw for each of you some cards, one by one, and then end of your reading with the Angel Wisdom Tarot card by beautiful Rathley Valentine. All right. For those of you that wanted to follow my Abundance Manifestation Masterclass, the link that I put in the previous videos was incorrect. I do apologize for that. I've put the right link down below for you now. Okay. Right, let's get into it. Libras. Libras. What do we have for you, beautiful, beautiful Libras, for the month of October? With me, Adrian Nelson, your psychic tarot reader. So Libras, what is it that Libra needs to know? Please, Spirit guides and guardian angels, please guide my hands. What is it that my beautiful Libras need to know? So you have got the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. In the bottom of the deck, you've got the Seven of Wands. Time to let go of whoever and whatever doesn't serve you positively. Okay, let it go so that positivity can flow, my beautiful Libras. So if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't sit well with your heart, if it doesn't honor you, if it sort of like disrespects you, be it a person, be it a situation, whatever it may be, with all the peace in your heart, just let it go. Let it go so the positive energy can flow. So you have got your cards. So you've got the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so first of all, I see that you've been working really, really hard at life and all things else, but all of that really encompassed you working on yourself. All right, I can see that you've really put in the work, and it's almost like you've had a bit of a stop and go here, my beautiful, beautiful Libras. But the way that you've had to stop and go, I really, really like it, because what I see is that you would, and maybe it took a lot of, you might have felt very motivated, but simultaneously also very tired and very, like, really, really drained, because it's like you would see that next step, you think, okay, I need to go for that. And then, checking in with yourself again, checking back to make sure, did I do the right thing? Should I have done it that way? Quite a bit of self-doubt that could have been present here in your life, my beautiful, beautiful Libras, possibly putting way more on your shoulders than what is really fair towards yourself. But what I do like very, very much is that you tried your best to do the right thing from the right standpoint, which is the ethical thing and the moral thing. I really like that, the social acceptable thing, the spiritually correct thing. And what I like is that you didn't come from a point of, oh my goodness, it's so wrong, it's so wrong, it's so wrong. By the way, happy birthday to all of you that's having your birthday and had your birthday. But what I do like very, very much, my beautiful Libras, is that you started to come here from a point of, this is what's right for me, and let's make just sure that I don't sort of like, cultivate any negative karma for anyone else, or even for myself, that I'm not sort of like winning at the expense of someone else. So I really like that, this beautiful thought that has been put into everything that you have done here, which I think is just super nice and super beautiful and super kind. For some of you, there are still some unresolved issues from the past, and those unresolved issues may have some detrimental sort of influences on your sense of happiness, your sense of joy, your sense of, what you deserve, what you're worthy of, what is right for you, what is not right for you. It might also be withholding you from all the other beautiful things in life, that next level of manifestation that you're all ready for. Love, all of those things that you really want. I can even see that for some of you, you may have recently so I'm sorry, this is such a way in which a Libra will sometimes operate. You may have had a very deep conversation with the person that you really, now this is obviously not for everyone, but it might be for some of you, very deep conversation with the person that you really care about, the person that you really like, really your person. But you may have kept it very sort of platonic, almost like, well, I'm not really talking about us here, I'm just generally sort of like, you talking about you, I'm talking about me, but you were sussing out things here. And I think even more so you've come to realize that, this person is your person, And in that in itself can actually could have, you know, sort of like consequently brought about almost a sense of like depression and self-doubt within the self, because it's a space where you realize, I want to be with this person, but this is what I need to do in order to get there. I'm going to say don't wait too long. I would actually say that, you know, full disclosure is better here. Let this person help and support you through it, you know. You may want to not show your vulnerable part too much, or, you know, bring your drama into the equation of a connection and stuff like that. But you may just miss out on something amazing here if you wait too long, all right? Give your cup of love. Be open and so the way you give your cup is by being open to receive love, because it's available, but you want to be open to receive. That means opening your heart chakra, you know, having the confidence to open, to let someone else into the vulnerable part of you. And that, of course, you know, goes along with the possibility that somebody else might hurt you, that they might disrespect you, that they may, you know, not be what, you know, what they sort of promised to be. I mean, there is a risk that is always there, but when we withhold ourselves from the good in life because of that, then at the end of the day, we really sort of like miss out, because effectively at the end of the day, it's always a chance that you're taking. It's always a risk. You know what I mean? All right. Let's clarify. So let's clarify the Three of Pentacles first. And no matter what you go through, know that you're going to be all right, my beautiful Libras. Know that you're going to be all right, no matter what you are going through. All right? Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. Just trust and believe in yourself. You've got it, you've got it, you've got it, because you're the magic. Okay, so now that I've subjected you to my terrible singing, clarifying the Three of Pentacles, my apologies. We've got the Empress, so beautiful Venus energy, Temperance, Sagittarius energy, as well as the Five of Wands. There's still, you know, that element of self-doubt here. I think that you are doing a lot better with it than you would have previously been doing, which is really, really great. I also see you reaching out to the right resources for help, for support, which is really, really great, you know. I see you building an increasingly more beautiful relationship with yourself. A space where, you know, you started to really get ready for love, for that beautiful connection, not just romantic love, but love in general, you know, letting people see who you really are, but especially romantic love. And even for those of you that may be with someone and you are sort of thinking like, oh my goodness, is this going to work out? You know, it seemed a little bit sort of like, you know, like a trepidation sort of vibe, a little bit perilous. I see that you, by opening yourself more and like almost like by portraying that vulnerable side of you, my beautiful Libra, you actually made yourself so much more attractive. Okay, because what we often don't realize is by being so powerful and being so strong, you know, and I'm the man and I'm the woman and I'm the one, or, you know, whatever you are, whatever your pronouns are, your pronouns may be like the one, you know, like the strong one, whatever, but I'm serious now. Some of you may have really distanced yourself from the love that you'd like to experience, you know, from that beautiful compassion, kindness, and closeness that you not only crave and desire, but that you are ready for. But by opening your heart, you know, you have in energy sort of like, you know, let the other person know, hey, I'm not 100% there, but I'm getting there. And I feel that the person that you're dealing with, there's a sense of patience inside of them. So they don't want you to take forever, but, you know, they are prepared for you to, you know, to take a little bit of time. You just need to tell them that, all right? And I do still see that for some of you, there is a fear inside, beautiful Libras, of, you know, what if I, you know, what will they think? And there's that vulnerable, almost scared inner child sort of space. But it's also leading you towards where you are now, which is the space of healing, which is somehow open cards have been played here, one way or the other. Whether it's with the person or you just gain some clarity, maybe you and your person spoke individually to other people. But, you know, issues have been cleared out and there's truth and reality on the table, which is always a great thing. You are ready to heal now. You're ready to heal. Your person's ready to heal. 3 cards came out here for the Five of Cups. You got the Six of Pentacles, the Hermit energy, which is the Virgo energy, as well as the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, very, very cool. You ready to share your life, your bed, your heart, your emotions, your inner space, you're all ready to share it with someone else. Even for those of you that's been with someone, I still feel there was that inner fear at the back of your mind of, you know, what if they leave me? What if it doesn't work out? You know, maybe I'm too old, maybe I'm too young, maybe I'm too this, maybe I'm too that, you know. And I see that you're finally at a space where you are ready to really be all in, which is really, really great. You know, give it some time, don't jump the gun. All right, let your person show you, and even life, let it show you how appreciated you are, how valued you are. All right, give people the opportunity to actually show to you irrefutably how much they care about you, how valuable you are. But you know, when we consistently try to, you know, sort of like put up those barriers of safety and protection and to be so proactive and stuff like that, we don't actually give people the opportunity to show us how much they care about us. All right? And that might sound like a proactive thing to do, but it gets to a point where instead of being constructive, it's actually terribly destructive, you know? So let's look at the Queen of Cups there for you. So just let it be. Let things unfold the way they should. Expect the good to happen, Libra. You know, if you can totally, you know, sort of freak yourself out by expecting the worst to happen, you can also expect the best to happen. Five of Pentacles fell out here in reverse, which is a really, really beautiful message for you. It means that things are actually working out quite positively for you. So giving your heart works out really positively. You know, we've got the clarifying the Queen of Cups. There's the Ten of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. All right. There's some hurtful releases here that needs to take place with the past. It's almost like for some of you, you know, sometimes in life we say, well, you know, at least I'm in control of the situation. Are you though? You know, are you though? All right. Sometimes it's better to just let go, but there is a choice that only you can make. All right. Libra, let's see what Angel Wisdom Tarot has for you. Just going to draw you one card there. Beautiful, beautiful deck of cards. This is quite an amazing deck of cards if you are really into tarot and you want to either learn that next level, but you know what's also really, really great about it is that if you're brand new to tarot, this is an amazing deck for that as well. Okay, so you have got the Eight of Air, the Eight of Swords, the illusion of entrapment. You see the illusion of entrapment. A lack of self-confidence that makes you feel helpless, being afraid to take action, take responsibility for your life now. And how do you do that? By opening your heart to, you know, to possibility, by giving people the chance to love you, okay, and to see you. One of the best ways in which we can allow people to love us is to actually see us. All right. Gemini. How are you doing, my Gemmies? I hope that you're doing okay, my beautiful, beautiful peeps. Just gotta love Geminis. Gotta love them, gotta love them, gotta love them. Okay. Gemini, why do I feel like you are watching your person online? Like, it's like you are watching your person online. You're watching what they are doing. You're checking their social media. You're checking their next steps. Because you're thinking, well, if I check this, I can check this, and I can do this, I can do this, I can set it up so nicely, and I can do this. I don't really know if any of those things are necessary, all right? In the energy that led you towards where you currently are, we've got the Strength energy, and then in the current space, we've got the Five of Swords in reverse. You see, this is where there is that thing that I was just speaking about, that sort of honing in, trying to see what's the best way to play it. You may be distancing yourself from the person that you want to get closer to. So you're, I don't want to call it sneak again, but you know, you want to ask yourself really honestly why you are playing this game, you know, and why you are doing what you are doing, because sometimes we think, well, you know, I want to be so all like surprising and stuff like that, you know, but a lot of times it's fear that is actually keeping us in that space of taking more time than we have to take. It's a way of sabotaging yourself. All right, and it could even be a way of being afraid that you will be hurt again the way that you was the previous time. Okay, so it may not initially appear that way, but the action could be coming from fear. At the bottom of the deck here, you've got the scales, Libra. things working out in your balance, in your to your benefit. Scales positively evening. I love your reading actually. It might sound a little bit ominous, but I mean, you've got the Strength energy there, 5 of Swords in reverse, and the 3 of Cups in the upright position. The 3 of Cups is a really, really great thing to have here for you in this particular reading, my beautiful Geminis. So there's a lot of healing that you needed to do. There's a tremendous amount of heart healing that you had to go through. And I feel that for many of you, my beautiful Geminis, even if you were surrounded by people, even if you had people around you that, that were willing to support you, it's almost like they didn't fully get you. It's not like they didn't want to get you. It's just like they sort of didn't get you. It's almost like a very deep pain that you are going through, which can even be like an ancestral pain, that it's almost like within your DNA cells, within your molecules, you kind of had to sort of like say no to almost like a pre-programmed idea that you came into this world with. So I do see that it's not necessarily that help wasn't available. It's not necessarily that, people were unwilling to help you. It's just that I feel that for many of you, this is something that you had to kind of go through on your own. Now, a lot of you, or some of you, may have tried to, give somebody who, I kind of feel, Gemini, that there was a person that when you needed them the most, they were there for you the least. I really get that. And it's, and again, this is your beautiful, beautiful heart. And it's almost like they doubled up on the pain. It was just hard. It was just hard, But what I do like is that at least you were willing to try again, But then we get to a point where we realize, you know what? And I get that's where you're at the moment. It's almost like you've got this situation, this energy, this person in front of you. And this doesn't just have to be romance. It could be your job, But it's like that space where we get that realization in yourself where you realize there's no point to fighting for this any longer. There's no point to continuing this any longer. There's no, self-love in this. There's no self-honor and sort of like value in this. It's better to just cut the tie and to let it go, It's almost like the whole thing is like dust in the wind, and now you're seeing it for what it is, all right? But then going forward, you've got this beautiful, 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 group of support being here for you. So what I see is that there might be some new people coming in, some key characters, some key figures coming in, but it's almost in a sense like you had to go through something on your own. And so the very same people that would have been willing to be there for you before are able to be there for you now, because you are able to sort of like bolt forward now. You are able to receive now, okay? You were very honest with yourself, which I also really, really love, all right? Let's clarify. So let's start by clarifying that Leo energy over there. Could you maybe have been secretly in love with a Leo, or somebody that's just, maybe they had that very sort of strong energy, almost like pivotal point energy in your life, And I feel that you may have messed it up over there, maybe from fear, possibly. Could have been them. Maybe it was just you reflecting each other back to each other. So what I see, and this is also something that I really like to bring home to you. So that person that you were dealing with that was so hurtful and painful and those sort of things, that was your twin flame. But remember that this whole twin flame thing was made, I'm not going to say any names, but it was really something that was driven because it's something that money could be made from. So, because our twin flames are those people that really help us to get in tip-top shape in this world so that we can have our best experience of life. It doesn't mean that you always have to fucking marry these people. Because people spend their whole lives looking for their twin flame and they finally find them, and then you have that very hurtful experience because they're sort of like the ones that fine-tune your energy so that you can go, forward into this world and live your prosperity. It doesn't mean that you're always going to have to be with them, all right? That's a whole fallacy that has been sold to people. Because, of course, people realize they could make money off it. They can sell books from it. They can have courses from it. They can have, tarot cards from it and all those sort of things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be open to that, but to really be with your twin flame in this world, like you both have to almost have walked through all of your soul journeys through different lifetimes and dimensions together, and now you're here just for that experience. Because I mean, your twin flame could be your parent, by the way, So clarifying that Leo energy there for you, beautiful, because you're coming into your own, you're coming into your strength, you're coming into your moment there. So Mercury energy there with the Magician. You've got the Seven of Pentacles, and then we also have the Tower energy over here, Mars energy over here, okay? So yeah, I can see that you gained a lot of clarity. So I also want you to know that as hurtful as the past may have been, Gemini, and as difficult as it may have been to deal with, it actually brought you the clarity that you needed in order to actually, in a healthy way, progress forward. I can see that you started to build your life up again, and it has been hard, it's been difficult, and again, you know, it's not like there wasn't help available, but it's almost like for some reason you needed to do it on your own. You needed that time alone on your, you know, to yourself. Even if you were in a crowded room, you know, some of you may have really seen people's true colors, experience them pulling away from you, feel it inside of you pulling away from them, and you know, had to go through that hurtful, painful experience of realizing there's no point in reaching out to this person because, you know, even if the conversation is maybe like nice and civil and stuff like that, they don't really want to be with you. All right, it's a hard thing to realize, but it was, I could see that you know, you've gone through a lot, but you've also built quite a lot, and now you are ready for beautiful, beautiful love. You know, you're really coming into your energy left, right, and center. I mean, look at that. You know, Magician, Mercury energy, followed there by the choices, sixth energy, the Lover's energy, both Gemini energies. And then you have got the Two of Pentacles over there, and you also have the Judgment energy over there. All right, so ready for love, ready for a beautiful connection, ready to start something beautiful with someone not necessarily new, but it's like you feel maybe like a new person. I feel that in many ways they're a new person as well. So maybe both of you needed some time away, you know, on your own, just to sort of like find your own feet, you know, and to shape yourself. But now you are ready to do things together, to dynamically be together. And this is what I love. You and your person, you know, whether you are in contact at the moment or not, you are both at a space where you are ready to just really sort of like be together and like to sort of like leave all these other people behind. You know, and interestingly enough, I mean, this is not something that you have to bring up, but interestingly enough, this could be you, but I feel it's more like your person. They may have gotten intimate with someone else recently, but it's almost like that action itself served a very valuable purpose, because it was like, it's not really what I want. You know, they could already feel you in their energy. And in energy, they realized that it wasn't you. So it wasn't fulfilling. It might not even have gone through, you know, sort of like to conclusion. You know, so it wasn't really romantic. That most certainly not. Now let's look at this beautiful resources that's coming in here for you with the Three of Cups. So for that, you've got the Moon energy, which is Pisces energy, which is all dreams coming true, you know, your passions flowing and all that sort of beautiful stuff. Maybe you're dealing with a Cancer because there's Cancer energy at the bottom of the deck. All right. Page of Pentacles and also Jupiter energy there with the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, you're dealing with someone who not only wants love, but who's ready for love, who's ready to, you know, to open their heart, to share with you. And I feel that you can be very safe with this person, that you can put your heads together, possibly moving in together. So things can move very, very fast here with this person, but in a very healthy way and in a very positive way. And this is a beautiful, lasting connection. All right? It's a beautiful, lasting connection, and I think that is what's more amazing about it. It's not sort of like, you know, something that just happens and then when you kind of like give your heart, you know, it doesn't last. You know, if you give your heart, it will be forever. So Gemini, let's just see what you've got in Angel Wisdom Tarot. Right, two cards popped out. I'm going to take them both. I saw this one first. It says renewal, which is again that judgment energy. So you see it moving to a better space, more positive space. It says reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. So we spoke about that. Time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life purpose. In your heart, you know what to do. Isn't that incredible? In your heart, you know what to do. And the second one is the 10 of Wands. All right. And it says working too hard or too many hours, the need for balance in life, let others help you. All right. health problems due to stress. So this is a time for you to receive as opposed to give. Okay. Aquarius. See what we've got for you, my beautiful Aquas. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius for the month of October, please? What is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to be aware of? Aquarius, what is the stubbornness that is happening here? You know how stubborn you all can be sometimes. There's that stubbornness happening over here. And sometimes the stubbornness can be to your disadvantage. So be aware of that. Are you maybe being a little bit too stubborn? Even think to yourself, like, are you maybe getting angry about things you shouldn't get angry about? So let's even think about the timestamps. Maybe you're saying to yourself, why must we be last? Why couldn't we be first? Well, I'll tell you why, because in the write-up that I did for the thumbnail, I did the shorter letters first and then the longer ones afterwards, so there's a nice positive flow in the writing. That's why you lost. Okay? FYI, in case you were wondering. But really do pay attention and think if you're not maybe giving attention to things you shouldn't have to. At the bottom of the deck, you've got the Six of Wands, victory and success in every way, shape, and form. Then you've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. It might be time for you to really very seriously, so you might want to very seriously consider, my beautiful, beautiful Aquarius, that it might be time for you to sort of head in a different direction, to not just think about it, to not just consider it, to not just sort of contemplate the benefits of it, but to actually really seriously either start to implement it into a new direction, and of course thought is part of that. So you want to ponder new things, but you want to ponder it in a sense of not just, no, that will be nice. You want to actually very seriously and very proactively actually start to think of how you might want to steer your life in a different direction. And if you do, what I can tell you, the money will flow like nobody's business. Okay? So, there are those things that you did in the past. So I can see that you've been doing quite well up until now. You've been doing well. You've been doing great. You might have spent. And I also want to let you know, Aquarius, that this reading, there's not really love here. There might be love in the background, which might possibly come to the forefront because of your approach to all of this. But I see your reading being very much about your earthly experience, your materialistic experience, your human experience, your security, your point of base, your home space, that sort of things. It's very that, what are my responsibilities? What do I need to do? That sort of things. How do I get the figures up? How do I maintain the figures? I really see that happening for you quite a lot. And it's very positive. It's exactly where you want your mind and your focus to currently be at. Okay? As I said, I can see that you've built on something quite strongly here, quite beautifully, but it's almost like you kind of became comfortable in what you were doing. And in a sense, though, it's very interesting. It's very Aquarius. It's that sort of sense in life where you build on something, you work on something, and you see that you can stay with this, it can remain successful, it can grow in strength, it can still be more beautiful, it's a beautiful foundation, but something feels a little off. And I think the main contributing to something feeling off, it's almost like you might be a little bit bored. You might almost feel like you've lost your soul a little bit in what you are doing. It's too autopilot, there's no challenge. But also, it feels to me like now is the ideal time for your Aquarius to actually focus on that next level, on that new, because you realize that now is the opportunity for you. It's almost like you got it's almost like you're getting a free ticket here out of something that if you stay in it, it can be right by all the sort of like standards of the world, but it's draining your soul because it's just so fucking dull. And it may have been true for you at a point, but I do feel that for many of you, whatever you manifested here, it's really, really great. And whatever you've been doing, you've been masterly at it. Really, really you have. But I want you to really think back, my beautiful Aquarius, to how you initially manifested this in the first place. And even if you, let's say maybe you prayed and you were like, listen, please God, if you can just make this happen for me, I'll be so grateful. There's nothing wrong with that, not in the slightest. But what I am trying to drive home here for you, Aquarius, is that however you manifested, whatever you manifested here, essentially, the base motivation behind this manifestation was fear. And you have, you know, from what I can tell, you've been putting a lot of work into yourself. So you've been growing substantially. And because you've been growing substantially, you know, even what you may have been doing, it may have been getting better and it's got great promise, but it's still that, you know, it's like when you have like a itch at the back of your neck where you can't, like, or your back where you can't reach, you know. There's still the thing that is sort of bothering you, and that is that, you know, knowing that something's a little bit off about this, and it's like knowing that it's time to move on, to either make peace with where you are or to move on. And I feel that for you, making peace is not so much an option, and it doesn't mean that you are resistant or anything like that. It just really means that you are ready to step into that light, into that next level. And I feel that you may have been there for quite a while. But there is fear, because I feel like my stomach, it's almost going like, you know, when you're like very nervous, you know, and it almost feels like your stomach is going to like drop out of your body. It's that sort of sense. But it's sort of like simultaneously quite exhilarating as well, you know. So because you're definitely on the right path. So what I'm going to say to you is, you know, focus on the next. Think about the next. Maybe, you know, if you need to ask somebody's advice or anything like that, then ask for their advice, you know. And if you, let's say, I don't know, let's say you've been doing a certain job for a while, you know, and you want to move to maybe say out of this, let's say a corporate job into something more sort of entrepreneurial. You may see someone else that's already able to manage to somehow do that, and maybe, you know, ask them for their input, you know. Or let's say you may be leaving like a connection and you're going on your own, you know, ask someone else, what were your challenges when you went on your own? And even if it could maybe mean that maybe they moved out of their parents' house or something like that, you know, or they moved out of, let's say, an apartment that whoever paid for, and now they have to go in there and ask them, what were your challenges? Because you might be surprised in what the challenges may be sometimes. I mean, when I recently moved into my apartment, you know, it was kind of like an easy transition for me because I've done it before. But initially, when I first moved on my own, it was hard because you have to do everything and you have to remember everything. And you have to remember to buy salt and to put out the dirt. And it can be very hard sometimes. So, you know, or watch some YouTube guidance, whatever it is, you know, just get yourself the information, because I feel the more you get information, some of you may feel that getting the information might lead to stagnation, but I actually feel like the more you get the information, the more you realize to yourself, the more you get clarity that this is the right step to take. And I can tell you one thing, if there's one thing that's on the table for you, if there's one thing that's in the cards for you, Aquarius, it is ka-ching. Money, 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 okay? And it's because of how you're feeling. So you may have been making the money before, but there was still that like itchiness at the back, that sort of irritation. Now when that is gone and you kind of like really get to stand on your own 2 feet, whatever that means for you, it's like you are this portal for money, because it's like, it's almost like you're gaining your strength back, you know, your pride back in a sense, you know, yourself back in a sense. Because I feel that for some of you, it almost feels like you, traded your authenticity for money, and you may not have realized that for the longest time, you know. Maybe you bought all sorts of shit and whatever to make yourself feel ever so powerful. And I mean, you know, it is what it is. We do what we do and we know how to do it until we know differently, and one day you have that light bulb go on and you just can't ignore this light bulb no matter what nice sunglasses you wear, you know. All right, so clarifying that Queen of Pentacles, we've got the King of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Chariot energy, Cancerian energy, Merkaba energy, next level energy, Holy Guardian Angel energy. Okay. Somehow, it's quite interesting, somehow through all of this, you became ready for love, but real love, to give love, to receive love, all right? And you may have realized that in order to do that, you might have actually needed to walk away from quite a lot. But I see here that despite the fear, you were willing to commence forward, which is really, really fantastic, to start doing your own thing. So somehow you started doing your own thing. I also see a lot of you got rid of like the shiny objects, whatever the shiny objects may be, because, you know, again, remember those shiny objects may be things that you have bought. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it may be that you acquired those things because it sort of stilled you to, you know, sort of like to the reality, you know, and how life can be sometimes. It's interesting how life can unfold sometimes. Let's clarify this Page of Swords. You are definitely ready. You're not feeling all that ready, but you are ready. You know, you've got the Five of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. So this is what I'm going to recommend for you, Aquarius, that you do, and especially during the month of October. You will, and you want to look out for this, in many ways you will feel tempted to almost deflect everything you feel onto others, which can kind of make you an ugly person sometimes, can make you an aggro person, because if you're aggro, it's easy and everybody can say like, oh, they just went through a phase and now they're done with that, you know, and almost like a false sense of power. What I'm going to say to you is, don't go back to who and what hurt you. Don't go back to the past. By keeping at it, by going forward, you really move into this beautiful next level of strength. And it's like your magic is stepping forward, you know, your heart is stepping forward. You sort of like just light up, all right? And it's like your inner magic comes out, like your inner witch, basically, you know, it's coming out here. Ace of Pentacles with that money, so 9 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. So there are still some painful releases that need to be done here. There are still some work that needs to be done. Some of you are wishing you can sidestep something, and I'm going to say to you, don't do that. You know, this is very much a time to focus on yourself. You might go a bit silently on some people. Be careful of going to a space that is too dark. All right? I'm going to say to you, get some help here, Aquarius, even if it means that you sign up with like a, you know, with a counselor or like a life coach or something like that. I wouldn't go through this alone, because you can go in a dark direction kind of super fast. All right. Let's see. But in all senses, very, very good. Very, very positive. I like that. It's taking a lot of courage for you to get to where you currently are. Let's see what we have for you in angel energy, my beautiful Aquarius. So definitely some things for you to consider quite seriously there. You have the Ace of Swords. So again, that breakthrough, that new beginnings. It says brilliant ideas. There we go. Brilliant ideas that may need refinement. Overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly and concisely. Remain objective. This is actually what I want to add for your Aquarius. That if you could, like, say, you know, manifest, pray, ask, source, God, the universe, you know, whatever name you want to use for that which really can't be named. If you could ask that help before to get on board with where you are now, you can ask it to go to the next level. There is real power in prayer, and I feel that is what you want to be doing at the moment. You want to be praying, okay? You want to work with your higher self and not separate yourself from your higher self. And by calling in that additional help, you actually align with your higher self, because then, you know, it can work through maybe like an outside party to help you. All right. So that's what I got, my beautiful Aquarius. I hope that it helps. I wish you the most beautiful one. From my heart, namaste, love and light. See you next time. Bye.